This is what happens to you when you drink the wrong tea. You begin to look like me. I don't know how it happened. You know, I looked in the mirror not too long ago, and I saw someone, but doesn't look like me now. I don't know how this change process happens, but you have to be careful, so watch out. What I'd like to do today is to talk about what kills innovation. So many American companies want to be innovative. They want change. They want new things, new devices, new ideas, so that they can be more internationally competitive. And so they set up a management system to try to encourage new ideas. But the funny part of this management system, the way it works today, it just kills ideas. Absolutely kills them. Doesn't give people an opportunity to be innovative. In fact, it does the reverse. Now, I call it a virus in the management system that kills innovation in America. And it's not complicated to identify this virus, and it's pretty easy to get rid of it. I keynote a lot of conferences. And lately I've been keynoting on the Harada method because I'm very excited about this method. It's called the world's best process on day-to-day management to develop people to their fullest creative capability. That's what it's designed for. And it's not a complicated process, but I want you to look carefully and listen carefully and then go back and change this process. So when I keynote a conference, I like to talk about Harada. I get people very excited about Harada because it's not complicated and it's wonderful. And it really helps you to become successful in life. At the end of my talk, I look at the audience and I say, I hope you liked what I told you today and you're willing to go back and implement it in your company. And I ask you all to stand up, please, and raise your right hand and say after me, I will. I will go back to my company and I will implement the Harada method. I will do it. I am committed to do it. And everybody laughs and then they sit down. Then they go back to their company and what happens? What happens? They go to the boss because the boss sent them to the conference. The boss sent them to the conference to learn new things to bring back to the company, but watch what happens. They go to the boss and they say, hey, this is exciting. I think we should look into the Harada method. I think we should test it. I think it could be really wonderful for us. And what does the boss do? He stops, immediately says, sounds like it costs too much money. Sounds like something we just did before. Maybe it's just a flavor of the month. No, I don't think this is going to work, and I don't think we should try it. And thank you very much, and goodbye, and good luck. See, the manager thinks that it's their job to say no. They think that they should play the devil's advocate, you know. But I don't like the devil in any kind of form. Now, there's another way. Let's see how a Japanese system would work. The same employee, look a little bit different because he'd be Japanese, would go to the conference and then go back to the company. And then instead of going to the boss directly, the worker would go to their team. And then they would explain to the team, this is what I saw, this is what got me so excited. And then they would talk about it, all the team members. And they would come up with a cost justification. This is what's going to cost us to implement this new idea. Then they would look at it to see, well, what could the possible problems be? And they would discuss it together and be very careful in their planning. And then they'd put together this very careful plan to implement the new Harada system in their company. Then when they've gone through their due diligence, the employee would go back to the boss, the manager, and he would say, thank you very much for sending me to the conference, and we discovered this Harada method. It would be wonderful. It would be perfect for our company. Now the boss acts totally different. He would stop, he would think, and he might ask some questions to make sure that the group, the team, looked at all the possible ramifications. And then after the discussion, he would say, wonderful, thank you, go back and do it. And they would go back and implement it. They would at least test it. I'm not saying they would do it everywhere in the company, but they would begin to test it to see that it's successful. You see, it's not complicated. There's a virus in the American system, but there's a very simple antidote. Try it. Go ahead and do it. Thank you very much.